Everybody, I'm back with another video. This video is about a news report out of South Carolina, um, where housing authority, well, there, what happened was two guys at the Benedict, I think it's the Benedict College Apartments, which is a college in Columbia that my sister went to. She went to that college, Benedict College. Well, at the Benedict apartment area over there, two men were found dead in in that apartment, and they were saying some kind of gas or something killed them. But anyway, they decided to tear down the building, and now these two reporters, they was there gathering information like most reporters does. But when they came to get the document like they normally do, they was met with the housing authority people telling them they couldn't come in, blocking them and whatever, and told them to leave. Well, you know how reporters are. They don't really leave like that. But anyway, this is what happened.
Taylor Darcy Strickland is out at the Columbia Housing Authority, where WLTX reporters Jenna Krzina and Susan Artis were arrested this morning by the Columbia Housing Authority police while trying to access the building that houses the public documents released by the Columbia Housing Authority earlier this week for Allen Benedict Court. Now, Darcy, you've been out there for some time. How did this unfold this morning? Exactly what happened?
You know, Brandon, every day we do the news. Unfortunately, today we became the story. As you just mentioned, Jenna Krzina, Susan Artis were here at the Allen Benedict Court office. You can see it right over my shoulder. We have been here countless times. The executive director, Gilbert Walker, even invited us to be here to look at the documents associated with the two men who died, according to the coroner, of carbon monoxide poisoning in Building J. It's a story we last week. So today, when we showed up at the very same building that we have been to a number of times, the Columbia Housing Authority arrested these two reporters, Jenna, Susan. It's been a rough day for you guys this morning.
That's right, Darcy. And Susan and I were arrested when we were trying to access the building that houses the public records from the Columbia Housing Authority for Allen Benedict Court.
So what did they tell you?
They just told us that we should leave the premises.
And why?
We weren't really told exactly why, just repeatedly leave the premises.
And so once you stated the fact that this was a public building that we had been invited into, how did you go from there to being in handcuffs?
We were just told to leave, so we got into the car and we tried to exit, and that's when we were blocked in to what you see right here, this parking lot by the Columbia Housing Authority, told to exit our vehicle, and that's when we were put in handcuffs.
So did they do anything else? Did they take your information? Did they take your ID? What happened after that?
They did take our license and make photos of our license, our driver's license.
You know, you've been in news, both of you, for quite some time. Did you ever feel like something like this could happen to you?
I mean, I guess, hear stories about it or in school and whatnot, but never actually pictured being arrested when just trying to get answers for the public here.
Same. I just have to echo what Jenna said. I hadn't thought of it. But, you know, just following the story, eventually it happened, I suppose.
Here's the thing. We've been here countless times. We've gotten these documents. We've looked through these documents, and we found out information which doesn't necessarily put the Columbia Housing Authority in the best light. Do you think that had anything to do with your arrest today?
I mean, like you said, we've been out here. We've been able to access those documents. We've been trying to put a database for ourselves to get the correct information and see what's been happening. But, you know, hard to say.
At the end of the day, we're not going to let this stop us from getting answers, because, like it or not, there are two people who have died, and we're going to get to the bottom of it. What we can say is, once the attorney for the Columbia Housing Authority found out that these two reporters had been arrested, he made calls and they were immediately released. So, at the end of the day, this is just part of the story, but it's not the most important part of the story, because we know their lives and answers. We are not going to stop reporting on this story. Brandon, we're going to send it back to you in the studio.
All right. Thank you, Darcy, so much. And again, what it is, we're here to ask questions here to show transparency. And we've been following this story because not only did those two men die in this apartment complex, in this Allen Benedict Court apartment complex, but also hundreds of people have been displaced. More than 400 families have now been displaced, and they're at area hotels and motels. So again, News 19, we're going to be the station that's on your side getting answers. But as you just saw right there, we had two of our reporters. We had Jenna Krzina and Susan Artis. They were there trying to get information that they have been allowed to get for the last week. But again, as they went today to ask questions, to look at more paperwork, they were arrested, they were detained, and they were later released. But again, you saw Darcy Strickland out there with them. We will continue to follow up on this story and get answers for you, our viewers, because like I said, WLTX is on your side.
Okay. That's it for that story. So we see something going on in Columbia, this Benedict College court, where these people were living. These two men died of carbon monoxide poisoning, and then 400 families are affected, put up in hotels while they figure out how these men died. Now the fact that Housing Authority arrested two reporters draws suspicious that they're trying to hide something. So I guess they'll be getting to the bottom of it.